small only, so I think he might have an edge with his. If something happens to go wrong, I think he's less likely to be frazzled because of his overall race experience and because of his experience with the small only.
All right, and so they're off. We're going to sync this up here in a little bit, but as predicted, Rupert is going for power-ups early in the run, which is the safer strat. Xerox going ahead, taking the faster strat. As you can see, he's got the advantage on the in-second timer and on the actual timer. That will not last long, as Rupert will get fire and be able to blast earlier. So 1-2, the first of our underground levels. Xerox will take this safe here. There is the fastest way to go about it, doing some flick jumps and some pipe jumps. Suspecting my knowledge of Xerox, he's going to go ahead and, yep, pop that Koopa and ride the shell.
Yeah, so Rupert's picking up his fire here, and...
Ooh, tough break right there. Takes the loss on the duck jump.
Yeah, that can be tricky, the way those, that Goomba falls there. I know sometimes when you do... If you slow down at all in the earlier parts, it can kind of change.
Oh, Rupert going for the power-up, going fast on the platform, and he ends up taking an early death. Xerox now with a very comfortable lead early on in this race. All right, Rupert again, and he's going to take a little safer with the buffer jump. Fast grab, 281 for Xerox coming through here.
Xerox takes a little bit of a safe grab, but he's still got a nice lead to work with here. I'm not sure if either player is watching the feed and knows where the other is.
That is definitely something we will have to find out later on during the interview process. Here we go, a 1-4, and as predicted, he avoids the power-up, and he is going for it. Rupert also avoiding the power-up in 1-3, so I'm wondering if he'll grab the 1-4, or if he will also end up trying to go for Small Fire. I'm actually not sure if he's played Small Fire. Xerox, backward Bowser, and gets it! So, Flex, you want to explain Small Fire to the crowd?
Yeah, there is an interesting glitch in this game, where basically when Mario takes damage, the game it registers he gets hit, but doesn't actually make him small till a frame later. And if you do something crazy like take damage and end a level on the same frame, like by hitting the axe and Bowser on the same frame, the game will register that Mario took damage, thinks he's small, but doesn't have time to actually make him small, so it'll start the next level thinking he's small, but he's still big. So it'll give you a mushroom as a power-up, which will make the Mario small Mario, and then the game basically just thinks everything's fine, and when you get another power-up, gives you the flower, and that gives you a small Fire Mario.
Alright, so Xerox got 6 fireworks there at the end of 2-1 before he heads into the swim. Fireworks occur when the single digit on the timer ends in 6, 3, or 1. You get fireworks that correspond with that. 1 firework really doesn't lose you any time. 3 and 6 obviously lose you a lot of time. World 2-2, we're into, the first of our 2 full-level swims. Features a couple of choke points, a little bit of bloopers. As long as you're maintaining your speed and able to snipe, it's not that difficult, but it can be troublesome for a lot of speedrunners.
And you'll actually see Rupert do an interesting strat here. He decides to forego his firepower for a crouching swim strategy, which... Another strange thing about this game is you can actually swim while you're crouching, but the game, like, it doesn't have a swimming crouching sprite, so Mario just looks like he's swimming normally. But actually the top half of him isn't, the hitbox isn't active, so it's just his lower half. But since you are crouching, quote-unquote, you can't shoot fireballs when you're crouching, so you can't shoot fireballs when you're doing the crouch swim. But it does make your hitbox... Yep, it does make your hitbox about half the size.
It's definitely risk versus reward.
That's right, and kind of on the same token, I think those 2-2 and 7-2 are probably, I think, some of the, the best levels for the small fire, because it gives you the small hitbox with the ability to shoot fire, so you kind of get the best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
And you get that in every level, but I think it really feels good in the swimming levels.
Alright, so Xerox coming in clean, going into 2-4. Rupert making up time with the early death even, so...
That's right. There's a lot of race left here, so Rupert can definitely come back into this, definitely.
Very nice kill, Bowser kill on there. So the ideal way to do this is you want to get the fire kill on Bowser. It saves the animation. If you touch the axe, the bridge will collapse while Bowser is still there. If you grab the axe after you kill him with the fire, you don't have to sit through that animation.
That's right. It's about 2.5 seconds. It's about the same amount of time as getting 6 fireworks.
So Rupert taking a hit on Bowser, went for the fast kill, did not get it. He will have to re-grab power-ups. Meanwhile, Xerox making quick work of 3-1, showing off his sniping skills. Beautiful stairs. 347. Great time in 3-1.
Yep, he does the kind of risky stairs. I don't know if it's so risky. I've tried a bunch of different things on those stairs, and kind of going the risky way is kind of feels the best for me, and you know, seems to be for Xerox as well. But one thing I love about this game is all the different strategies you'll see, different varying strategies on different parts. Lots of different ways to tackle these levels. Absolutely. With Warpless, there's still a lot left to optimize to this game. Not so much for the top-level runners, your Cosmics and your GT Aces of the world who are looking for sub-19. They pretty much got their routing to a T. But as you come in to learn it, there's a lot of different ways that you can get to where you are, where you don't see a lot in any percent these days anymore. Oh, Rupert with another unfortunate death in 3-2. Ooh, yeah, that's tricky. That's a spot. Yeah, you definitely need to do a crouch jump there, or that exact thing will happen. It's either precise or give yourself a little room with the crouch jump there. Rupert just now powering through, trying to figure out he might go for where he'll try to re-grab power-ups, or if he's going to go small only at this point. Probably not this early in the race. I would think he'd go for power-ups again. Yeah, we'll see what he decides to do. 3-4 now. Does Xerox know what frame rule he's on? Is he going to play this aggressive? Yeah, I'm not sure. Does. He went under that POTA boost, so he must know. Let's see how aggressive he gets. Oh my gosh! Nice. Beautiful! Kill. That is a beautiful 3-4 from xeroxfiend. Alright, and Rupert is opting to play small at this point. Probably aware that he's behind at this point, looking to make up some ground. Yeah, here's where he might start, you know, kicking in his instincts here and start taking a blast from the past with his small fire only, or small only running. Alright, so Flex, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the difficulty of 4-1? It depends whether or not you try to stomp the Lakitu at the beginning. That's not too tough, but, you know, I've been known to mess it up quite a few times. Oh, but on a scale of 1 to 10, it's one of the easiest levels, for sure. It might be the easiest level. Alright, so 4-2 coming up through here. Now we're talking about Team Bottom Route versus Team Top Route. Xerox takes a safe 4-2 approach, and he's going to go bottom. He's going to go for a lot of the swag here. Not sure exactly what he did there, why he hit that power-up. Maybe it's just he slipped under, and maybe it wasn't completely intentional. Maybe I'm thinking he didn't feel comfortable with the jump there, and maybe it slid under for safety purposes. Rupert, in the meantime, finishing up with a 340 on the timer for 4-1 as well. He's only a level behind, considering he's got the 2 deaths going. Xerox only losing 2 Mario seconds, though, so not much of a slowdown in there at all. Alright, so 4-3. Rupert is on his heels. Right on his heels, considering the hiccups he's had early on in this run. So now, I remember when I got to 4-3 as a kid, seeing these crazy mushrooms and thinking, this has to be like the last level. Like, look at how crazy this is getting. Little did I know! I wasn't even halfway done yet. Almost halfway done. That's right. So 4-4, you're going to see the first of our 2 maze levels. You're going to see the runners go top and then bottom here. You have to run these paths in a certain order in order to reach Bowser. Fun little fact, Flex, this is the only game that does not have the ding. In subsequent re-releases of Mario, SMB 1 Deluxe, and All-Stars, they added a ding to let you know you did the right way. Yeah, it's nice to have some audio feedback, especially if you're not even aware that you have to take a specific path.
Yeah, I can imagine picking up this game for the first time and just getting lost in 4-4 for an hour.
Yeah.
All right, World 5, the world where runs go to die. So 5-1 is a nice little breather, some easy platforming as long as you maintain your speed before we get into the real trolls, which are 5-2 and 5-3. Rupert navigating 4-4, again, also with ease, getting through on the maze. And beautiful, 247 on the timer from Xerox. He is absolutely flying. I think he's pretty much had a mistake-free run so far.
Yeah, he's on a very good pace. And I wonder if Rupert has some power-ups in mind he's thinking about grabbing that he thinks are especially fluid to grab, or if he's just looking to take it small.
All right, so we did get the troll build at the beginning of 5-2, but Xerox was taking those stairs safe to begin with. And getting the Hammer Bros, getting through, and this should be a pretty easy finish for him. Rupert, meantime, heading into 5-1. Powers through. He is not going to go for the safety star. He is just going to keep going and trying to keep that keep pace with Xerox at this point.
Yeah, there's actually not a lot of enemies in your way in this level, so the star is just kind of... It can feel good. Ooh, and he ends up getting a 6. Oh, he had to slow down a bit in the beginning because he couldn't shoot the piranha plant.
All right. Oh, Xerox taking a death thanks to having to deal with the bad build pattern right there in 5-3. So not only does he have to start over, he loses his small fire.
That's right. Small fire, you can take damage and recollect your power-ups, but if you take a death, the game resets your... I don't even know, your Mario polarity. So
now the question is, do you go for that risky power-up in 5-4 and try to reclaim small fire, or do you just run through it at this point?
I think I personally would maybe try to go for it since I like to employ the Royale Good Bar strat where you wait till 292. So you're already kind of waiting a tiny bit, and if you can jump up and grab it, super slick. You don't really lose any time.
Well, Xerox just challenging 4-4 anyways. He says, I don't... Fire Schmeier, I don't need it.
I gotta take some notes from xeroxfiend, because he is flying through these castles that take me quite a few more seconds to complete.
I mean, takes a death, but still pretty much maintains his lead on Rupert at this point. They're still about a level off from each other. All right. Interesting stat right there. At the beginning of 6-1, you see Xerox take a jump, a medium to full jump. That prevents the Lakitu from firing the first Spiny, which makes that start a lot easier.
Yeah, it's very... Another interesting Lakitu thing that Evad999 pointed out to me. He loves to share some knowledge with me, because sometimes I need it. But an interesting thing with Lakitu is every time you grab a power-up, Lakitu throws an egg, which is interesting, because he always seems to have an egg right where you don't want it. And so yeah, just be aware when you're about to grab a power-up, look where Lakitu is, and just know that he's going to throw an egg when you grab it.
All right, and I really think Rupert's not going to take a power-up for the rest of this run. He's really going to keep the pressure on Xerox to keep going at this point. Xerox playing large fire from here on out.
Yep,
Sorry,
yeah, definitely. No problem. He's definitely, looks like he's just going to go big now. He'd have to take another, it's about a 10-second time to set up the small fire. I don't know if it's like that every time. I know the first setup is 10 seconds. I'm sure it varies after that.
Well, I do know that Xerox has been working on manipulation in 1-4 to get the backwards Bowser every time, so it seems he gets that consistently. I don't know if it's worth it at this point to go for, like you said, with the time loss. All right, 6-3, just Xerox getting some bad builds, but not letting it phase him at all. He's going to finish up here nicely.
Yeah, he is getting some crummy bills. Wow. Look, and Rupert had some early jitters, but looks like he's really settling in here.
Maintaining that small-only groove. As you said, he started as a small-only runner on this, so he is now in his comfort zone, his wheelhouse.
Yeah, the only problem we have to remember is that he's gonna use it's gonna take him about 2.5 seconds longer in every castle just to watch that animation.
All right, a little bit of trouble with the bars, but able to recover with Xerox, and he's on to World 7.
Rupert avoids the 3. Stays just one level behind. And once we get into World 8, if deaths can take, can be about 30-second loss, so...
Absolutely. World 7 is the last world where you actually have checkpoints to help you if you take a death at the later 8 stages.
Xerox making a nice path through 7-1. I find 7-1. If I screw up one little part of the level, the whole level just kind of cascades into more and more mistakes. It's got a really nice flow to it, but if you mess up that flow,
All right, into 7-2, the final of our 2 full-level swims. You're going to see the bloopers and the cheats get a little bit more there in the way.
I looked away from Rupert for a second. He must have taken a death in 6-4 because it's like he had to play it again.
At Bowser, so Xerox again gaining a little bit of breathing room on him, but he takes the hit right there thanks to the bad bloopers. The 7-2 strikes yet again.
Yeah, look at all those animals. It's a blooper party over there.
Rupert, meantime, does take the mushroom. He is on his last life, so he does have to play this aggressively conservative, I'd like to say. Getting those power-ups is not an easy task, but at the same time, it's going to help you prevent that hit. So
he's got a couple bros in his way. The bros are not always going to be bros for you.
No, bros are not always bros at all. So
I even feel like they're mostly not.
On to 7-3, the last of our flying cheats. As if the flying cheats weren't enough, the game decides we're going to throw some Koopas at you. Well, the one thing you got to look out for in 7-3 is when a cheat kisses a Koopa, that Koopa turns right around and comes right back the other direction. Oh, another hit for Xerox, avoids the death, and that's going to put him in a tough spot.
Yeah, that is a tricky power-up to grab for just like that. Right when you want to jump, a cheat might just fly up and hit you right in the feet and kind of give you a little bounce that really screws up what you're trying to do.
So now the next power-up is not going to be till 8-2, so getting to this late in the race, going for fire is definitely not worth it at this point.
Yeah, there's no way to get fire now until, I guess, 8-3, so he's definitely... Xerox will definitely have to do, and Rupert as well, because he's not going to be able to get fire power before 8-1 either. He only has one power up before World 8 in 7-3.
Alright, coming through 7-4. Bowser not behaving. Comes forward again, takes the axe, goes through. Rupert is roughly about almost a little under 2 levels behind at this point. But World 8, as we said, is the great equalizer. This is the final masterpiece of the game. The 8-1, the longest level, no checkpoint, precise jumps, spiny plants everywhere. It just gets insane from here on out.
Yeah, you'll see in 7-4, it's actually another one of those maze castles. It kind of looks like the runners are taking kind of a meandering route, but that is the route you need to take.
Absolutely, game does not make it easy on you, so Rupert's still nursing that one life. We'll see if he goes for an intentional game over in 8-1 to refill his life bar, or if he just YOLOs the rest of the way.
It'll be interesting to see. I remember when I was playing a Lost Levels blind for the first time in the Maze Castle, I just kept saying, alright, which one of these routes is the most difficult? Because that's going to be the one they're going to want me to do. And sure enough.
Absolutely, especially in Lost Levels. Rupert having a little bit of trouble getting up there, but again, coming through 7-4. Xerox with the 6 fireworks in 8-1. Coming into 8-2, going for the fast stair jump. He gets it.
Yeah, 196 is a good time to get small. I mean, ideally you want to wait for a 95.
200 is the most optimal. Oh,
that's right.
There's the death for Xerox. He's got to start all the way over back at the beginning.
And okay, he's an 8-2 though, so I was gonna say Rupert almost thought he took the lead there, but he is one level ahead still. But yeah, here's where deaths are very costly.
Still catching up though. He will be making up time. Xerox going to be going for the infamous BBBB strat, named after him. So there we go. There's the first, there's the second, there's the third, and the fourth B. I'm not going to try to say them in order of flex. If you want to flex on it, go ahead.
I'm not too sure. It's something like brush, bonk, boing, bounce, or something.
Something like that.
I'm sure Chad knows what the B's are.
All right, now let's see if we get good bros here in 8-3 for Xerox. Going to head up over. Okay, first set of bros, and he is going to go for the safety shroom in 8-3. Gets the buffer jump, beautiful up over the top. This will allow him to take a hit because these bros can be jerks. As you can see, there we go. He's going to... Ooh! thought about coming back for the power-up, but got the bad bro pattern. Now he's got to take on these 4 bros who could just do about anything through beautifully. Now it just comes down to a good 8-4.
Yeah, that third bro scares me the most.
Rupert, in the meantime, takes the power-up at 8-2. He is only a level behind. At this point, if Xerox trips up anywhere at 8-4, there's a chance it's Rupert's race to lose.
It looks like it's bonk, brush, boing, bounce.
I don't know. I like bacon, burger, pizza, ... as well, so I'll take it all.
You never go wrong with a good pizza.
Especially a bacon burger pizza.
Ooh, a nice wall jump from Xerox.
All right, great turnaround room coming into the final swim of the game. All right, Rupert threw on 8-3, so he's going to come in and he's got the power up, so he at least has a little buffer. Great job avoiding the fire bar there. Comes through, he's got a great fire bar to challenge. It just comes down to 1 bro and the man himself, Bowser for Xerox, coming up through. Waits on the Potaboo. Good choice on his part. That Potaboo was low, and he is through 20:33 on his timer. The official SRL time, we're going to have 20:42. GG's to Xerox. What a great race.
Yeah, he really held it together and finished with the nice time. And both runners in the last level at the same time.
All right, so Rupert coming through. He got the wrong warp on there. So if you push the game forward enough to the right, it can only load 1 warp zone at a time. The next pipe that you don't see in that level is the one that goes to the swim, where that pipe technically is supposed to bring you back to the beginning of the level. If we push the screen far enough right, we can go ahead and wrong warp and save a little time and go to that swim.
Yeah, you kind of trick the game into thinking you're further along than you are in the level.
All right, using that mushroom buffer, 21:17 on his timer. Official SRL time of 21:22. GG's to both these guys.
Yep, both runners, despite some jitters, held their runs together and finished with 2 respectable times. Very nice. And once again, Bowser takes a plunge into the molten abyss.
The quest is over. We will not be seeing that new quest that gets presented. Not today. Maybe someday we'll get that both quest tournament running. But for now, seeing if we get them both in here. All right, just waiting on them. So while we're waiting, Flex, what was your takeaways from the race?
Well, mainly that little mistakes can really happen to anybody, so if you're doing a race, I guess just don't be discouraged if you make a mistake and think, oh, that's it for me, because, you know, it can happen to anybody at any time, at any place, so it's really good to just keep your head in the game and just finish your best.
Absolutely. And now we've got both Xerox and Rupert in here. I just want to say GG's to both of you guys. We're going to start with Xerox, our winner today. Xerox, how did that race feel? You had a very solid race, had a little bit of rocky second half there, but was able to pull it together for a very good time.
I appreciate that. It didn't feel solid to me. It felt like basically a complete mess the entire time, but yeah, we held it together more or less. Sub 21, I guess, isn't the worst, but man, it was rough. I never got comfortable. It was tough the whole time.
All right, and Rupert finishing with a 21:17 on your timer, 21:42 I think they said on SRL, overcoming some early hiccups in your run. Going with a very aggressive small-only strat to keep you in this race. You really didn't fall more than a level behind the entire time.
That was that was something. So I don't know if Xerox, I don't know if you were watching me or not. I wasn't watching the restream. So I started off the I got hit. I picked up fire in 1-2 and I got hit by the Goomba where you do the little duck jump.
Yeah.
And so I decided to go for the mushroom at the end of the level, and I did not get the buffer jump. So I died there, and then I just kept losing power-ups, and I died in a couple of spots. I think I died in 3-2 because it did that whole thing of where I guess I hit down and right at the same time, and it came out of my duck, and I hit the block as not ducking, and I fell into the pit there, and I just
Right, 3-2. Right after the fire, right after the fire collection, you were ready to be suited up right there.
Yeah, and there at one point, maybe it was I think it was at that point, and I was like, okay, the power-ups are not working right now. I'm losing too much time to do this. I'm going to run small only for a while.
How nerve-wracking... Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll go ahead.
I was going to say, how nerve-wracking was it when you decided not to refill your lives and just go for it with one life? I know, especially 8-3 when I'm on one life can be pretty hectic.
I mean, it is kind of nerve-wracking, but I felt like at that point I couldn't really afford to waste the extra time to do the refill. I mean, in most situations I would, but I felt like at that point, like I'd already lost quite a bit of time at that point. And actually, of course, probably not a huge surprise, but I think I felt the most comfortable when I was actually running small only during that race until I started trying to pick up the power-ups again, and 7-1, and that did not go well, and I lost the mushroom and won, or 7-2 rather. And
you did really seem to find your groove with the small only.
Yeah, that I mean, I would love to run all these races that way. I mean, I did some of them last year, but it's one of those things that when you're playing higher level players, it's just doing small only strats. Like I can't really make any mistakes, and then I might have a chance against somebody getting like a 1930, 1940 or something like that. Like that's probably realistically in a race, a 1940 is probably about the best I could think that I could probably get doing race strats with small only. So
yeah, I do remember last year Sherry got pretty far with small only.
Yeah, that's right. She did do small only. Yeah, she was actually pretty good with that.
So Xerox, you definitely had the bad luck too on the Bills in 5-3 and 6-3 through that. When you did take the death, did the thought ever cross your mind to maybe try to collect small fire again, or were you comfortable going with large fire from there on out?
Yeah, I wouldn't set it back up. I'm definitely comfortable enough with big fire, but yeah, I'm definitely not as comfortable. So when I had to go big, it was definitely more of a struggle. But yeah, I feel comfortable enough not to have to set up small fire again.
Do you have
but
any,
yeah, that death in 5-3, that was just like, I don't know what I did. I guess I jumped in the air, so that was annoying. And then I died in 8-2 to the silliest way ever. It was a little rough.
Do you have any alternate strats you do with big fire, or do you pretty much just take the same path, just crouching where you need to?
Usually it's the same path, yeah, just with crouches. There's a couple levels where I'll do them a little differently, like 4-2, I'll take a slightly different route. But yeah, it's usually the same lines and whatnot. All
right, so looking ahead to this tournament, because this was still in the winner's bracket on it, Xerox, your reward for your win today is none other than Supersonic. How do you feel about that race coming up?
I'm really excited about that. Supersonic and I have had, a couple of really good matches. I think I've raced him twice before, and he won one, and I won the other one. So this is kind of like the tiebreaker, I guess. It should be a lot of fun.
All right, and Rupert, not to take the brakes off on this one, you draw Tecate in the second chance bracket. How are you feeling about that race coming up?
That's I'm gonna have my work cut out for me on that one. It's which kind of is pretty much the whole thing with any path in this bracket.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully it should be a pretty good race. I got since we kind of have a little bit of a buffer week here because of GDQ and stuff, I'll have a little more time to work on a few things and all that, because I think it's a little obvious I need to work on a couple of things today. But
now, speaking of which, if you run into Tecate at GDQ, will we see some IRL trash talk coming up to this race?
Maybe. Maybe.
Rupert, how many other tournaments are you in right now? I saw you in the All Castles yesterday.
I finally got knocked out of that one yesterday. I actually came somehow. I went back and watched the restream after it was over, but I was actually like about. Somehow I almost pulled out a win on that. It was
less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think it was about 5 seconds or so. The guy I was playing, he messed up. He was messing up the Bowser fight and all that, and it allowed me to catch up, even though I was behind pretty much most of the match. But and then I possibly could have won it had I not messed up the first throw on the third phase. But as far as that with that tournament, I don't really actively run SMW right now, so I actually made it a lot farther than I thought. So I can't really complain about that. That was a pretty decent run through that.
Well, it sounds like you've got more time to focus on the SMB one Warpless, so Takate's better look out.
Yeah, maybe me and Takate will have to do a few races at GDQ this week.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Ooh. You know what? Set up a tournament race at GDQ. That is the ultimate right there.
I'm not trying to do a tournament race this week.
I'm joking. Relax and have fun at GDQ group. That's all that matters right now. So, Flex, any more questions for our two racers today?
I don't think so. I just would like to thank all the organizers and thank everyone in the chat for checking this out, and thanks to Rupert and Xerox for giving us a super fun race to call. And yeah.
Xerox, any final comments for us today?
No, just good luck, Rupert, on your next race, and
Thank you.
yeah, it was fun.
All right, Rupert, final comments?
Well, it was a fun race. I think the times that we both got, I felt like it wasn't exactly what either one of us was expecting, but I'm sure it was entertaining on the viewer end of it.
Yeah, I've definitely said this before, where it's super fun to watch the flawless, just like bullet train runs. But it's also really interesting to see how people recover from mistakes and see what kind of strategies they use in that situation. So it's also yeah.
It's always fun to see what somebody does when they get punched in the mouth. So let's just put it there. All right, so looking ahead, coming up for us tomorrow evening, we've got a big race with Royalty versus Darby. That is 10 p.m. Eastern. Flex, you're back on the commentary for that.
That's right. You guys will have to deal with my voice again.
That'll be it right now until Friday, June 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Mamoru is taking on, not familiar with this guy, the Elder Spork. And then Saturday, 3 p.m., we've got Jeremy versus JT the Creeper. So we've got some great races. If you feel a little GDQ fatigue, pop on into the Speed Gaming channels. Check out all the action going on. Heck, if you've got two screens, put them on both. Why not? Personally, I want to thank everybody over at Speed Gaming. They work so hard at putting this together, helping us with the restreams, getting set up. We've got Trenton in here tonight doing the admin work for us. I want to thank him personally. Flex, thank you for hanging out with me. Rupert, I always thank you as being kind of the linchpin for this tournament for the whole time. You're actually here tonight for me to say thank you so much for all the work that you're putting into this tournament. You too, Xerox. And
thanks, Spork.
And with that is going to end our broadcast for tonight. So on behalf of Rupert, Xerox, Flex Retro, Speed Gaming, I am the Elder Spork. You guys have a fantastic evening. We'll see you around the corner.
Have a good night, everyone.
Later, guys.
See you.